try to not do all these like finagly YouTube internety things, on the Lord's Day, because there's better things to do, like go to church. But we're getting real close to that 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I want to push us over the top, and I want to get us to the point where we can actually get monetized, have all the fun stuff, do all the fun stuff that all these bigger YouTubers do, and just kind of laugh because they keep telling me my career's dead. They keep telling me it's over. They keep telling me I can't do nothing, and it keeps growing no matter what they say. So I got no plan. I might read a little Bible because it's Sunday, and that's what we're supposed to do on Sundays, is reflect on the Lord, do our thing like that. I might read a little of my books, because my book Sanctified came out on Friday, and if you haven't been reading that series, that's a military science fiction Deus Vult in space. It's Star Wars, but with Christianity involved. It's super alpha male. You guys will love it. And that's it. So that's all I got going on today. I think, yeah, let's do some Bible reading. The last time I did a Bible reading, I think I did. Gosh, I don't remember. Do you guys remember what I did? I don't know. I don't remember. So I think I did Matthew 27 or something like that. So let's talk about let's do Matthew 28. I don't know. You can never have a problem reading Matthew 28. So let's read a little bit of Bible right now. Let's pull this up. I'll pull it up on the little share screen for you, so we can all kind of read along together. Here we go. Jesus has risen. After the Sabbath, at dawn on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to look at the tomb. There was a violent earthquake, for an angel of the Lord came down from heaven and, going to the tomb, rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothes were white as snow. The guards were so afraid of him that they shook and became like dead men. That's pretty interesting. The angel said to the women, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen just as he said. Come and see the place where he lay." Then quickly go and tell his disciples, "He has risen from the dead and is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him. Now I have told you." So the women hurried away from the tomb, afraid yet filled with joy, and ran to tell the disciples. Suddenly Jesus met them. "Greetings," he said. They came to him, clasped his feet, and worshipped him. Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee. There they will see me." While the women were on their way, some of the guards went into the city and reported to the chief priests everything that had happened. When the chief priests had met with the elders and devised a plan, they gave the soldiers a large sum of money, telling them, "You are to say, his disciples came during the night and stole him away while you were asleep. If this report gets to the governor, it will satisfy him and keep you out of trouble." So the soldiers took the money and did as they were instructed. And this story has been widely circulated among the Jews to this day. Then the 11 disciples went to Galilee, to the mountain where Jesus had told them to go. When they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. Jesus came and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I've commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age." There we go. That's what this is all about, people. We have a God who came to earth, who took on physical form just like us, was killed brutally, and rose himself from the grave in 3 days. I love that the Bible actually addresses the idea that the disciples, like, did they just take him and take him out of the tomb himself and steal his body? No, this was addressed, and the Bible actually has the foresight to say, "Hey, this is something that the guards were told to say," and nobody believes it, because everybody actually was able to see the physical risen Lord during that time. And there we go. That's our Sunday gospel. That's the happy news. You can rest assured that no matter what problems you have in your life, no matter how much things hurt, no matter how bad things are, if you have a bad day, if you're feeling down, your God had it worse, and he came back, and he followed through with exactly what he said he was going to do. And that's inspiring stuff right there. That's what I aim to do, is to just follow through with everything I say I'm going to do. and just work hard and not worry about things. So that's the deal. If you've been following, I tore my right calf muscle on Friday. It wasn't a bad tear. I think I'm probably going to be able to walk on it again like tomorrow or maybe the next day. So things are getting better there. We're getting healed. We are on our way towards good things. Now, please, if you're watching this, please send the YouTube channel link out on your social medias. Tell people to subscribe. We are 3 people away from a monetized channel, and that's what I'm trying to get going today. If you see this here, see this 977? We need to get this to 1,000 in order to get an application for monetization in. I've got all the watch hours done and all that. We are good to go. We just need that 1,000 number, and that will get us on our way to the next level. It's very exciting stuff. And this is my cat right here. If you're wondering whose tail is in the way, would you like to come on the stream, Kit Kit? Would you like to? There she is. This is Kit Kit. She is a beautiful cat, and she is a lovey-dovey. There you go. So we need to monetize for her so we could feed Kit Kit more. She's not really starving for food, as you can tell, but she still tells me she's hungry all the time. All right, so that was our Bible thing for the day. I mean, there's really not much to say about this other than, this is the crux of the gospel. This is everything that our faith is predicated on. This is the thing that we need to believe in order to achieve salvation, and that's it. That is the only requirement right there. It doesn't matter what you've done in your life, how bad you've done things. I've done bad things, of course. I'm no saint or anything like that, which is why I don't hold that sanctimonious attitude over anybody. And I never act like that. Somebody says, YouTube is not stable income, right? Of course. I have a zillion different platforms. Yeah, of course, but I don't care. We're just having fun over here, and it's just, if anything, it's funny to try to get, those big YouTubers. They get so mad as I grow, and I just like to be here in their space, because I actually don't like YouTubing very much. I don't think it's very fun. I enjoy it when I have Timothy Lim on or something like that, so I can have a good conversation with a buddy or something like that. But, I don't like talking by myself. I don't like this kind of attention, I guess. It's kind of weird to me. So, but whatever. I would much rather be monetized than not. So let's YouTube stream if you all want to hop in. All right. So let's see if we can get some guests in here. I'm streaming if you're bored. And we'll see if somebody shows up. That's great. If not, then we'll do what we got. And that's the thing. I do have a day job. Yeah, I do all this. I have no life, really, more than anybody else, because all I do is work and then do this on my breaks. I literally spend my lunch break doing this instead of other things. And then I spend my mornings writing, and I spend my evenings writing, and that's all I do. And I read some comic books. The reason I read comic books so much, I don't know if I've gone over this, but you guys probably noticed that I read a lot more comic books than books. The reason that I do that is literally because I can sit. Hold on. Okay. Don't get upset. The reason that I do that is because these Epic collections are ginormous, right? And I've got a treadmill at my gym, and I can lay them pretty flat, pretty easily, just like this. And I can read one of these very easily while I'm doing my warm-up cardio when I'm working out. So this is the only reason I read a lot of comic books. It's because of these giant trades that Marvel puts out. I can just sit on the treadmill just like this and read while I'm doing things. And it's a lot harder to read text. So like the pictures and with a few words actually works pretty well while you're bouncing and moving, right? Hallelujah, praise Jesus. That's right. So that's why I read a lot of comic books and don't read a lot of books. It's all because of that. So please, again, if you're new and you're showing up, please share the YouTube link on your social media. We're trying to get those 3 last subscribers so that we can get that monetization. I'm going to telethon until I freaking get this, because I want to get this done. And that's going to be the goal today. I just want as many people to see this as possible so that we can get these subscriptions up and see if we can get there and do that. So if you're watching, make the push, try to get other people. I'm at 998. We are 2 away. Woo. Yeah, this can rest on. So I've got like on my treadmill deal or elliptical. I guess I use an elliptical, not a treadmill for the most part. I sit this. There's like a little stand right in front of me where it's got all the buttons, push and do the thing. I just stick this right there, and it's actually got a little like lower thing to hold it on there. It's pretty good. Audiobooks would work. That's a very true thing, but I like to listen to like really intense rave music, so that it like gets me going and gets me amped. So I want the music going hard while I'm doing my workouts. So the comic books on that treadmill are actually the best thing for me. That's the deal. So, but I don't know when I'm going to get back to it with my leg issue. I'm going to try to walk again tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. So it might be a while, but when I can't walk like this, the only thing I can do is read. So I've been reading a lot. I finished this volume yesterday of Thor. This is Epic Collection Thor Volume 11, which is from 1981 to 1982. I will review this sometime this week. Yeah, Spidey and EDM. That's right. That's my life. And this kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie. So, but I'll savage it this week. So I don't savage too much because I usually only read what I like. But I'm reading all of these old Marvel books. So. They're hit and miss sometimes. Try eating people food. I eat lots of people food. So, but rich Tom Brady people food, right? Tom Brady and Gazelle food. All right. Oh, David Stewart's here. Hey,
what's up?
I just saw you there. What's up?
Yeah, not much.
I'm so mad. My cat's tail's like right in the deal.
Yeah, I keep my cats at. Got them all kicked out. I was just doing some videos on book cover design.
Oh, cool. So, I love that you design your own book covers. Can you throw one up real quick?
Let me show up the one. I have a couple videos coming out today to show how I designed this one. This isn't a real book. It's just an example. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see what screen am I? I'm gonna
move, cat. Cat, stop it. You're annoying. Okay, let's screen share Dave's deal. All right. That's beautiful.
So the first video I shot to make this one, which is really, really simple and doesn't require a lot in Photoshop. It's just mostly getting basic text effects and an image. And you can do this with any image. You could do this with like a full size image of whatever. Most of cover design comes down to communicating the genre with like the font. I went with the really conservative fantasy font. Most of the time I do a fantasy font that's like Cinzel or something that's really like, this is full of swords and magic. You better get ready for the magic. This one's a little more, this might be serious medieval fantasy like Game of Thrones. And so then the second video, I show how to take it and turn it into basically this one, which is a lot more, a lot flashier, as you can see. So we did a black, cut the sword out, did a blue background, did a bunch of lens flares and blending effects with smoke and all that kind of stuff to make it really, look like something that would look proper on Amazon. And one of my goals with the channel over the last couple of weeks is just to show people like people that are beginning authors, you can get on the platform for very little expense if you know what you're doing and just get started publishing books. And
you inspire me on that regard because you really do it all yourself. And I definitely do not do that. I'm like, formatting. I don't even want to mess with the formatting myself. I'll pay somebody. And it sucks because you have to sell that many more books in order to pay for all this stuff. So you got it. Yeah.
That's the point I make. Like when you're starting out and if you spend $1,000 on a book cover, $1,000 can be a great investment on a book cover, but you're going to have to sell, if it's a 99-cent book, which a lot of your first books that you put out are going to be 99-cent books, you have to sell 3,000 books to pay for the cover. That's a lot of books. That's actually a lot. And so people they're like, 3,000 doesn't sound like that much because, this big author has sold 1 million. It's like, but you have no idea how hard it is just to get, nobody knows who you are, especially just to sell 1,000 copies.
Oh, dude, I already did it. We can stop streaming now.
What? You already sold 1,000 copies?
I got it. No, I got 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, great.
Finally.
Congrats. Now, where's the Super Chats money?
So now I got to apply for monetization, then apply for Super Chats, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. And I don't remember all the thresholds for that because I passed those a long time ago. But not everybody's as fancy as you.
I mean, geez.
No, I mean, yeah. I think the monetization comes first.
Monetization. I hope I don't like dox myself or anything weird by doing this. Channel under review. You've reached it, and 1,000 subscribers. Your channel is now being reviewed to make sure it complies with YouTube Partner Program terms, and our community guidelines will email you in a decision within a month or so.
Community guidelines are usually not a big deal, even if you're edgy.
I'm pretty edgy. I don't know.
It's they only become a big deal if you attract enough attention to get trolls that like mass report.
Let me see. So I've got let's edit my titles so that I don't have SJW in here. All right.
Even if you have it, it's probably just won't like community guidelines would be stuff like targeted harassment or literal hate speech. Like if you came out with a video that's like kill all trans people,
I thought
not okay. They're not gonna like that.
I don't do that because I don't want to do that. But I am looking for. I thought I had a video with cuck in the title, and I was going to try to change it too, but I guess I don't.
I did. So I had a video with cuck in the title, but the video was about how you can't type the word cuck in comments and have it show up. The comments just disappear. I can't even approve them if you write cuck. They just they're gone into.
I've got it. If you redacted, you lose. I should probably take out AIDS out of my title too.
Well, I mean, people have found that the bots will demonetize you even if you are using those words, but you're using them, say, in a more politically approved direction. So, like, if you are, if you make a pro LGBTQPRXYW Omega plus video, and it's like 4 Omega plus or whatever, you'll still get it demonetized because the meta content, like the tags that you have there, will
find it.
Do it. Yeah, they'll find it.
Interesting. Wow.
So
that's exciting.
And then you might get it manually reviewed, but this is another thing is that all of the manual reviewers are like third worlders, like from India. And so a good portion of them are Muslims and will not monetize your LGBTQP Omega XR
interesting
WY video plus.
Wow, so it cuts both ways. I did throw David's channel link into the chat, by the way. So if you scroll up, if I assume everybody who's subscribed to me is probably already subscribed to David, but if you're not, you should, because David is one of the better YouTubers out there, really focused on writing craft and things like that, and useful. So yeah, there you go.
So, yeah, and that's kind of what I've been doing on the channel lately. Is like I really wanted to take some time and just show people what they need to do to get everything, get everything done so that they could get started on something.
Should I take your screen off? Sorry.
Yeah, we can. I was going to show some other covers.
Okay, cool.
I've got some other ones. So like I did the covers for the Needle Ash series, and I do the wraps and stuff too. And I'm going to show. Next step will be showing how to take this like Forge of Winter. I just made this up. Like, and I look at it, I'm like, it looks cool. It has a good name. It hits. I'm like, I should just write a book called Forge of Winter now that I have a cover already ready to go, or even, you can even come up with an even better keyword title instead of like Forge of Winter. It could be like Winter's Force or something, something that's really, really going to hit the fantasy genre pretty hard. But yeah, so like I did this one. This is the Needle Ash cover. This is a composite cover, which at some point I'll show how to do this. It's a stock model that I just cut out of a background. It's like, well, get rid of that lame background, and then put a sky and a tree for like a cool background.
Is it pretty easy to cut something out of a background in Photoshop?
It's not that hard once you know how to do it.
Because I always get like little pixels of like the wrong, not quite around
so
it.
The trick is you cut it and you mask it, and then you can just anything that's a mistake, you can just paint the mask and get rid of it. And I use with this one, I had to be really complicated because his hair when it's like flying out is slightly translucent, so you have to paint some transparency onto it to get it to actually blend right. But it's not that hard for most objects, like for the for everything else. So like this is that one I did.
I guess I'll have to watch your videos in order to like figure out how to do that.
You know, here's what
Sweet.
the book 2 paperback looked like.
Nice.
You know, putting a pretty girl on the cover is usually a good idea, by the way, guys.
I've noticed that when I have a girl on the cover, things sell so much better.
I tell that to people and they're like, well, I don't, you know, it makes me, you know, I get some viewer feedback. It's like, well, it doesn't make me want to watch it because I want something with like heroes and masculinity or something. I'm like, be honest, you probably clicked on the book cover if you saw it on Amazon just because there was a pretty girl. If you're a man, you see the pretty girl and you're like, I kind of want to click on it.
That's the deal. Everybody, like the dudes want to see a pretty girl because we just want to look at them, and the chicks want to see a pretty girl because they want to be them. So there's no there's no loss.
No downside.
Yeah,
and it doesn't always swing the other way with male models.
Mm-mm.
I feel like I also feel like the standard of I also picked this model because I thought he looked like Matt Easton. For those of you who are into HEMA, it's not Matt Easton, but I'm like, dude, it looks like Matt Easton. I'm going to put him on the cover. He has a big HEMA channel called Scala Gladiatoria, where he explains like how to use long swords and stuff like that. It's a great channel.
Says put something more enticing on the Stars in 22. I thought the Stars in 20 had a pretty good cover. You can critique my covers. You're a cover guy. So
yeah, I haven't seen the Stars in 20.
Obviously,
so there's
I think this is my best cover.
So
period.
I like this one a lot. I like this. First of all, I like all trilogy. All 3 of them are really, really good covers.
This is probably my favorite though.
So I like this one because it's clearly a woman and it clearly displays the feminine features of the woman, which is wide hips,
boobies,
this pubic triangle, which
boobies.
We're not going to get deep into that, but yeah, boobs.
Boobies.
And then of course we have some magic effects, that's what I call an auxiliary element. Oh, there's some magic there. It must be something cool going on. And then of course we see like this strange futuristic cityscape kind of swirling around. And it's a great perspective on it. The colors are really good. So on all 3 covers, the colors are really good. You want to think on a meta level, you actually don't want a ton of colors. And so
I just try to make it stand out in colors. So the reason I did for Steam and Country, I mean, so if you go to this, I mean, if you see like my bright yellow and you're like, what the heck?
It's yellow and red.
When it's in thumbnail in all these books down here, you're going to see the yellow and your eye's going to be drawn right to it. So that's why I did that.
That's right. I mean, for one of my very early book covers, I just did red and white because it's like red. You just see the red.
Yes, I love that book cover. It's very simple, but that book cover is super effective.
You know, I was doing another book cover for a while that was like dark red. I think this one stands out better. I'm probably going to go back to this one. It's simpler.
Yeah.
It's simpler and probably better. So there's probably a lesson in there, which is like, keep it simple. Keeping it simple is better. So this is a really simple one I did too, which is just a crown. And I just did a bunch of design stuff. And then people are like, oh, I really want to read that. And I'm like, it's just a picture of like some random costume crown that I just did some lens flares on, but it makes it pop. Like when you see this next to all the other fantasy novels, you see this bright thing popping out at your eyes with this like red and blue. It really makes you want to read it.
So here's what happened with this. I went with like alien spaceship because I wanted to communicate space opera, and let's see.
Here's a cover. I wish I had done.
Maybe it was too boring. Is this too boring? Whoops.
This is totally right for science fiction. So I'll show you some sci-fi covers that I've designed. This is very, very much cues into the science fiction genre.
That was the thought. Yeah. Look at all these options we have. We can go like this. We can go like this.
Yeah, and it's good colors. The purple and the orange kind of makes you think a little more in the YA direction. Which is fine.
Which is okay.
If you had the purple and it had like a model and like the forest, you'd be like, oh, it's paranormal romance. But it doesn't work that way. It's sci-fi because you have a spaceship and a planet. So the main things you have in sci-fi are spaceships and planets. I'm trying to find an example.
Always spaceships and planets. Yeah. So they actually have a term for it in the industry. They call it starship ass. And
yeah.
So they got the you got to show the starship ass. There's your
this is one I did just as a demo. If somebody wants this book cover for their sci-fi, you can use it.
Wow.
But it's a ship that I pulled. Somebody designed this in like a CG landscape and just put it as a stock photo. Just grabbed it, put the lens flares on it. This planet I made, and you can make planets in Photoshop if you know what you're doing without too much difficulty. And the way that you make the planet is you get a satellite photo, and then you can project it onto a sphere, and you just pull the sphere slightly off the screen, and all of a sudden you have a sci-fi book cover. Just kind of metallic font that's sans serif, and there you go. And then I notice the main color is like red and orange, so that's just going to make you feel a little bit more like sinister, like there's something going on that's a little more sinister. I was going to say, here's a cover I wish I designed. I don't know. Can you show my?
Oh, let's see. So I can't show just you. That's like one of the problems with StreamYard.
There we go.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. So this is the new Dragon Force album cover. This is awesome. So
That's
when you
awesome.
see something like this, like, oh, that's ridiculous. It's stupid. I'm like, can you get any more Dragon Force than this?
You can't.
The answer is no. It's the most
Dragon Force.
Dragon Force thing that exists. And not only that, I need to do a record review of this, but you probably can't see this good on camera, but the vinyls come out as this smoky color, but I don't know if I have a light.
Look at you, vinyl hipster, dude.
Oh yeah. Vinyl sounds better, but there's a lot more to it than just, it's a clear, like this weird clear purple vinyl.
Yeah, they make the records really interesting these days.
They went full out with this. It was great. And what's also cool is they put it as a 45 RPM record. Because the joke with Dragon Force is like they sound like sped up 80s music. So the record is actually sped up.
So
it's at 45 RPM instead of 33, which I just thought was a funny touch.
Nice.
But yeah, like something like this communicates everything you need to know. You see a bunch of 80s elements and dragons and fire, and it looks like a big bukkake. But if you had this, like, you know, if you were to do the book version of that, it would be something like really, really pulpy. It would be like Ultimate Dragons from the Future, cyberpunk, you know, and you can have.
So here's my next series. Well, it's not even going to be a series. It's going to be a one-off book. But yeah, so I'm just working on this. And by the way, I do not recommend doing one-off books, guys. But I'm doing it just because of the way we're doing it. You see them teamed up with Moira Grayland, and it's going to be very special. So we're going to have to do it one way. And again, just like simple works pretty good. Like this was not a difficult cover to make.
But
it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I love this book cover, actually. It's great. So it got to first of all, before you even get to the cover, you have the keywords like dragon. So if you have dragon as a title, it's just gonna really hit the sci-fi, or not the sci-fi, but it's gonna hit the fantasy.
Should I go full the dragon's eye instead of the demon's eye?
No, I think demon's eye works great, but like demon is great. And then you have an eye that looks like a dragon's eye. So that's really, there's a
spoiler. The demon is the dragon.
Yeah, the demon is the dragon. And you have a lot of work being done by the typeface, by the font. So this might actually be, I could actually design this. This is, okay. So I'll tell you what the font is, and maybe I'll do, I think I have this font. But what they did is they edited all the paths of the font to make it look like this. So this is a completely custom typefacing.
Really?
Might look so cool like that. You can get the font, but all these extra streaks, I think these are something that the designer did.
Yeah, the streaks is what makes it look cool. It
gives
it like
draws the eye.
To it. Yeah.
And again, you have an orange color, which is an emotion of like fear. So it's a great design, and it totally works. And yeah, it's going to hit the keywords hard.
Yeah, we're going to so we're actually going to kickstart this one because there is a special element to it. I think I've already spoiled this, so I don't think I've talked about it on here. But we are doing a combo book/album. So Moira Grayland is doing fantasy harp music with vocals that match up with the story. The story is about a bard. The main character is a bard who actually has to face this intense prophecy to deal with this demon. And the bard then records his life as epic songs. And then Moira Grayland's going to be translating those songs into actual song as it goes along. So that's the high concept here.
Cool.
Yeah,
I like that. And Moira Grayland, if you don't know who she is, she put out a book called The Last Closet.
The Last Closet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which, we don't have to get into what's in it.
Right. Yeah, we do.
I would recommend it.
It's rough. It's a rough read, guys.
Yeah, I would recommend it if you can handle it.
But the woman is she's an inspiration to me because she's endured hardship like few others have in their lives, and she's persevered through it and really just like dedicated her life to God and pushed her life forward despite all the trouble she's been through. So I'm so excited to work with her. This has been something I've been wanting to do for a little over a year, and I'm doing this instead of writing book 4 of the Justified series right now, which would be the smarter business play. Probably, but this is going to satisfy my artistic desires a little better. So, yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I think it looks good. I think it's going to do good.
Thanks.
I don't.
Let me put this up. What do we got here?
I have some one-off books, but they're all, Muramasa is kind of a one. I might do a sequel to this one. I have a story in mind, so I should probably do a sequel. People are always asking for sequels to it. They're like, what happens to the kid? I kind of wanted them to walk off into the sunset together, but I think I might have the sequel focus on her son, with the main character from this one, Yoshio, just being like a more Obi-Wan.
A generational thing, huh?
Yeah, more like an Obi-Wan kind of character, like teaching his adopted son how to actually be a proper warrior because he was raised by like peaceful monks. Awesome. Doesn't know crap. So I might do that for the sequel. I have kind of a story in mind for that. This was a really fun book to write. But this is before I realized, the game is a lot about series, because if you write a series, people will read, if you do a good job on book 1, book 2, people will continue to read each book in the series. You get a lot of, there's a technical word for it, which is like the buy-through rate or something.
Yes.
Anyway,
click-through rate, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
No, something else. I just remember that the novels of Gore had one of the best ones ever in traditional publishing. We're talking about like 90%. So 90% of the people who bought book 2 bought book 3, bought every book in the series.
That's amazing.
It was insane. And I think it was Tor that was publishing, still refused to publish the books. And they refused to publish the books because they were sexist,
That's right. Sounds like Tor.
Yeah. So and this was back in like the 80s or 90s. And it took the author, whose name just falls out of my head, John Norman, I think. Took him like 10 or 15 years to get the rights back so he could put them out as ebooks. They're huge on Amazon. The ebooks and the print-on-demand paperbacks sell a lot of copies, all of the Gore novels. But they're really like, they have a strong erotic element to them.
Yeah, I never read them because they're pretty degenerate, in my opinion.
Yeah, so they have involved like subjugation of women and stuff like that, which is something that obviously it doesn't really interest me. I've read a couple of them, but they quickly degenerate from fantasy stories with strong erotic elements to erotica with fantasy elements, if that makes any sense.
It does.
So they cross over at some point, but I still don't think that somebody should just no way for their readers to get a hold of their books because the publisher says, well, a previous editor negotiated this contract and we got the rights. But now that I am the head of the company, I can decide that your book shall be seen by nobody. I don't really like that. Like, that's not, I don't know, it's messed up.
Yeah, I agree.
But now they're really big. So that's another reason that you can go indie, besides getting to keep all the money, is you can actually have people read your books if they are, outside the acceptable political space. And by the way, you never know when those goalposts are going to shift. That's the other thing.
The goalpost is already shifted to if you are a white male as an author, you are not allowed to be published at this point.
Well, they could shift in the future too. You never know where they're going to shift. So it could shift to a thing where, like, if you're male, period. Doesn't matter if you're
close to that.
You can only get published if you're trans or something. Who knows where it's going to be? It'd say get published. It's kind of a dumb.
Get published by publishing. That's the new mantra. So
yeah, that's what I say.
It's been a heck of a good week for our little crew here, though, or a good couple weeks at least. So we've got, somebody mentioned Gideon Iredale's Volt Wastelanders, which is Adam Lane Smith's new book that came out on Friday along with my Sanctified. And I highly recommend that one. We're going to have Adam on the stream on Friday. So he'll be talking about his new book. And he's a psychology guy, so he'll be going over. I love when he talks about like marital relationships and things like that. Because I like to have
Adam on. He's great.
He has great stuff to say. So
and he's a I mean, he's an MFT, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there's always a lot of interesting conversations you can have with somebody who really knows their shit when it comes to psychology. I'll look forward to that.
Yeah. And I'm sad because I was like, you gave me the opportunity to hang out with you in person on Friday night, and I totally bailed on it. And I still can't walk all the way.
I'm sorry.
I'm aiming to be able to walk tomorrow. How was it? So what was the show that you were having me go to?
So it was Camelot. The drummer from Camelot invited me, and so we got in for free and got to we could have had I could have brought more people, found out. Because there was plenty of
man, you could have had a good party.
It was also this is gonna upset you, John. It was also traditional theater with seats, so you could have sat down.
No way. Oh, no way.
But, yeah, you could have sat down and watched the show.
I figured it would be all I figured it would be general admission.
Yeah, it was general admission, but there were still seats, and which is kind of okay for a power metal show. It's not the same as like death metal or something like that. So we got to go in, watch Sonata Arctica play, which was kind of awkward to kind of run into them after the show because I totally panned their last album publicly. I totally crapped all over it. It wasn't good. I was just I'm a fan, so I was disappointed. But it's okay. They're really nice guys, and we got to meet Camelot and hang out with them afterwards, and they were extremely nice chaps to us.
Yeah, I started listening to them on Friday because there's so many different types of metal, and of course, like whenever anybody says metal, you immediately start thinking, right? But these guys are actually very melodic, and their vocals are very melodic also. So I was like, oh, I can listen to this for real. It's good.
Yeah, they're also, I mean, they're very focused and dedicated guys. You know, they live a very clean lifestyle for the most part. Like we went backstage and they weren't like partying or anything. They were drinking water and lifting weights. Like 2 or 3 of them were lifting weights after, because you're on the bus all the time. You don't have a big opportunity to work out. So they were doing like a light workout. I think Thomas Youngblood drank like an 8-ounce Coors Light after, that was his partying after the show. He's been doing it for 30 years at this point.
If I was doing shows, I'd just get trashed on stage. So that would not be me.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Preston? How are you?
I'm doing all right. Actually, I've had the most insane 24 hours, I think.
We were just talking about clean living. Are you drunk? You sound drunk.
I am not drunk.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. I'm not drunk.
So Preston is from Pocket Jacks Comics, and he produces White Lily. If you guys have not picked up that book, you probably have at this point if you're watching this channel, like I said. But yeah, just more good times. We were talking about a metal show, which I was supposed to go to on Friday. What do you listen to, Preston?
Metal. I'm not that big on metal. So,
are you into rap like me?
Not that much. I mean, on occasion. My daughter actually has got me into. So my daughter got very much into Arnold Schwarzenegger. I showed her Predator back when she was like 12, and she was like, "This guy is amazing." So she's seen all of his movies, and she just went down this rabbit hole that you can do with the internet. So for a while, she was listening to Arno Core, which is a death metal kind of parody thing dedicated to Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, where like every song is based on one of his movies and uses lyrics from that movie. So,
do you know about this, David?
No, I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, you can look it up. There's this thing called Arno Core.
Are there Conan ones?
God, let me check.
There's got to be, right? I mean, that's the whole point.
Yeah. But so then she moved on from Arnold Schwarzenegger to John Cena, who has his own rap album. I don't know if you know that, but John Cena has his own rap album.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Okay, it's actually pretty good. So yeah, I was hanging out with her yesterday at this small little show in Torrance, California. Her and a friend of mine who's a YouTuber for My Little Pony. I Live Impossible a lot. And my daughter was thrilling me with some of her latest jams. But I'm also glad to see how much of an influence I've had on her. Like she's playing Billy Idol and stuff. And whenever something like that comes up, I'm like, So do you tell your friends about that? Because she's kind of a music evangelist. Like she will go to the she's not millennial, right? Because she's 17, so she's post millennial, like whatever Gen Z or whatever that is. But she'll be telling them like, "Hey, you should listen to Depeche Mode and now Billy Idol," and was she's developing this 80s
She's
music
red-pilled.
band group. Yeah,
I can't do the Billy Idol. I've seen Billy Idol, and that was pretty rough. But
Yeah.
I'm into the Depeche Mode sort of deal. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, awesome. And
John
she'll be
Cena is a whoa. This is fighting words from Sergeant Pats. This is absolutely false, as the Bay Area has the best rap scene out of any rap in the entire world. We have E40, we have Too Short, we have what's this freaking G-Eazy. So go away, Sergeant Pats. Get out of the Bay. David's like, I'm out. We're talking rap now. I'm just done. I thought you were walking away from the conversation.
I had to turn the fan on. It's getting hot. I mean, I'm in Modesto and it still gets kind of warm here. And I'm also running my computer's a little overbuilt, so I'll say.
Okay.
Are you a gamer still? Do you game?
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm playing Vanilla WoW, and
yes, I'm so jealous. What's your class?
This time I'm playing Rogue.
Okay.
I'm playing Rogue. And I kind of convinced myself to play Rogue when I made a video like a while back on like what class should you play for Vanilla WoW, right? And I went through every class and I'm like, Rogue. I'm like, let me go through Rogue. Okay, I'm like, you're the best 1v1 class in the game. You do the highest DPS, and I'm like, why would I not play this, right? So I'm playing Rogue this time.
Are you Alliance? Is that why you're kind of skirting around this?
No, I'm Alliance. Yeah. We were going to do Horde. We originally rolled Horde, and then the people that were kind of auxiliary to the group were like, we're going to do Alliance. So we did Alliance, and then those people quit. So now we're Alliance again. I played Alliance. I played both actually back during when that was live, when that was the thing. So I've done both. I had 60s. I'd done level 60 on both factions. The Horde faction's probably a little easier to level because you're right there by instances. It's just a little easier to do Horde. The racials are, I think the racials are slightly overrated. They're maybe slightly better for PvP. But Horde's like way overcrowded right now. So if you actually want good PvP queue times when they have Battlegrounds go live, you should do Alliance. And if you're playing in Europe, all the good players played Alliance in Europe, and like all the good players played Horde in the US for some reason. I don't know why that worked out.
I was one of those good players in the US playing Horde. So there you go. But yeah, I can't do it now. It's just too much time. It just killed me.
It is, and that's something I have to consider. Is like the play time has to stay pretty low because I got too much other stuff to do. So I mostly just like play a little bit before I go to sleep. So I'm level 40. Level 40.
You're going pretty fast. That's not bad.
Oh no, like everybody's 60 already.
Everybody,
people know how to play the game. So like back when it launched, you take 6 months to get to 60, but now people know the quests, they know the game, they know the classes, they've been playing on private servers. We had level 60s the first week. I couldn't believe it, but I'm just taking my time and having fun. And maybe I'll run like a pug raid on Saturdays or something later, and that'll just be what I'll do.
Gosh, I want to play so bad. I want to play so bad.
Just roll Alliance.
I can't do. I can't. Well, I could never be a traitor to the Horde like that. But
druids.
I don't think I could. I really
you can play female Night Elf Druid, and people will give you free stuff thinking you're really a girl.
I know. I did that in Burning Crusade. I played a Blood Elf female, and it was the same deal. Like people were just like, "Wow," and I'm just like, "You got to be fucking kidding me! You're this dumb." There are no girls on the internet. For people who don't understand, there are no girls on the internet. Well, it's a law of the internet. So
yeah. Well, I actually had a lot of real life girls in my guild, but some of them even played male characters, like male gnomes and stuff. Because they're like, "Why are you playing a male gnome?" And they're like, "Because they're cute." I'm like, "Okay."
That's why I figured that's when the Blood Elves came out. I was like, if I want to sit here for hours every day, I want to stare at a Blood Elf ass like that's a female for hours a day. Like that seems reasonable to me.
There you go.
Yeah. And Pocket Jacks. So you've got this new book coming out, and I see that you are not shying away from a cover that features some female titillation there.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, it's all right. So initially, I had this kind of artsy thing because White Lily it's kind of my art project. I want it to be beautiful and to express a lot of human emotion and whatnot. And so I've been making decisions which are probably commercially bad. Like I've told the artists that I want them to stick to how the historical characters looked, so I don't want them overly sexualized or done it like whenever it's amazing. Like you can take like a historical character and hand it to a comic book artist, and it's going to come back looking like Jessica Rabbit. I don't know why, but
there's a filter that happens when you draw
Right.
something where like you focus on the details which are have the greatest impact.
Mhm.
So a comic artist, of course, is going to accentuate breasts and
Yeah.
buttocks. You're going to draw them as a sexual, as a sexual creature rather than as just the exact form of what you're being
I
presented.
have that same problem with Miss Sashi, who like I'm like, I need a body pillow of my character, and it needs not to be that sexy.
Right.
I'm just kidding. But I did tell her that though, but she didn't listen. So what can you do? Two girls,
So-
one cover is what
Yeah.
Jack Hockman says. And yes, Bianca, it's the two girls kissing cover. That is what we're talking about.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but we're at the point in the story, and all right, and this screenplay existed for a long time, and this was always my question is, all right, how much do I want to show between these two? And like, just so you understand, like how much, like some people, whenever I introduce the topic, it polarizes people. Some people are like, hell yeah, girls kissing, this is awesome. But then like over on like the Russia Reddit, they're like, you are destroying the historical matter of the character. Like, okay, well, please, so I was always passing it off as like, if somebody makes the movie, then that'll be their decision how much they want to show. But since I'm now kind of in effect making the movie, and now I got to issue 4, I'm like, how much do I want to show? And I'm like, well, when I really started drilling down on the character of who Lilia was, or at least my interpretation of her, she was a very damaged, self-destructive person, and and she kind of seeks experiences and sensations or something. So I think she would totally just go for it, and in the moment. And I'm like, that's who I've shown her to be. So why am I going to shy away from that? So yeah, okay, issue 4, the things get crazy, and comic book guys should like that. And there are some who are like,
Sergeant Bats says lesbians are degenerates. What do you want to say about that?
Okay,
I should not put comments like this up when I'm trying to get monetized, huh?
Yeah, I like
Whoops.
I do know. I have figured out, by the way, that they will use live chat for when it comes to monetizing it after the fact. Live chat, the bot will read that to determine whether something can be monetized or not. So
really?
This is something that I've had to do. Is like if people come in and they spam the chat with stuff they know that they're not supposed to spam it with, they are going to demonetize the video. So I just tell them like, hey, you got to keep it clean, or I'm going to have to kick you out of the chat. I'm going to have to ban you because.
Ooh.
You're affecting the monetization of that video. I expect that video to be up for years, making me $5 or $10 a month. So maybe $5 is not a lot to most people, but $5 over 20 months is a lot.
Yeah,
that's $100.
All this stuff adds up, and that's why I always tell everybody. I'm like, they're like, why are you on this platform? Why are you on that platform? People were warning me, and like they're like, YouTube's not stable income, and I'm like, it's fine. Like, I mean, I've got my blog. Gets me clicks from Amazon. What's it called? That affiliate program, right?
Right.
The affiliate program gets me $50 a month. It doesn't sound like much, but like if people go and click book links on my Amazon page, $50 a month over, like you said, like 5 years adds up pretty good.
Sure.
And so I get $50 a month off that. I get $50 a month here. I get $200 a month off Patreon. Like those things start to coalesce and become big. So I try to be, on every platform as much as possible. And I think it's a great idea. I think we will be much more prone towards monetization if we end every sentence in I love Israel. I love Israel.
Oh, I don't know about that. It'd be because I think is okay. So I don't want to get too deep into this, but you know, I think being pro-Israel is generally frowned upon, but not being pro-Jewish. If that makes sense. I think there's people who are like, you got to be anti-Israel, but pro-Jewish. I'm like, how does that work?
Well,
You know,
one is a nation, and one is
my
a
Jewish. Yeah, my Jewish friends are Israelis for the most part.
Yeah,
Right?
I know. My Israelis are the best. So I don't know what the deal is. Look at my like glowing light. This is the glowing light of pending monetization.
There you go. Yeah.
Angelic.
It's a good effect to add to a book cover. I was
Is
just
it?
looking at I was just looking at hot girls. I'm like, I'm gonna do another book cover demo, but this time of like young adult, like fantasy stuff. Here. Let me I'll show you. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find some stock photos. But basically all you have to do to make can you show my screen? And I'll
Oh,
show
sorry.
people
There
what
we
I'm talking
go.
about. All right, since we're talking about hot girls, right? You just find a girl that's hot. Like you could do this bondage thing if you're doing erotica, but like for young adult, you do something like this. She's a little thin. We want like bigger boobs, but you could do something like this. And you call it like blood magic and put a city in the background and then put some like magic purple fog. And it's like, boom, that's a book cover that's going to sell. So any of these that you feel like you're going through and you're like, man, I kind of want to click on that and look at it bigger. It's like, that's a good image. It's a good image. You should think about using that image. If you, let's look at that image. I'll put that in the library.
Pretty good image?
Yeah. That's actually a good one because the girl's really pretty and she has like bright colored hair. I'd probably change the color of her hair.
That's good.
Which I could do. Oh, actually, this one's even better. Look. And these are just stock photos, and you just put that with like a city in the background, like some buildings, and it's like, oh, it's paranormal romance, or it's urban fantasy. You can do all kinds of stuff like that.
Nice.
So there's anyway that more to the point about hot girls selling stuff.
John asks, what about using manga style for book covers? I see this sometimes, and I think it's fine. I think if you're getting into like professional book markets in the US though, and if you're trying to aim for space opera, you want to have a spaceship ass on your cover. If you're trying to aim for
when you say when you say the word book, you're specifically just discussing novels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean comic books obviously a manga style would work fine, especially if it's manga art inside, right? But if you want to go for that Japanese light novel vibe, I would say that the manga style probably would work. But again, like there's not that huge of a market for like American written.
You have to think about
right?
you have to think about what you're trying to communicate with the cover. So the main things you're trying to communicate are genre. That's the big one. You want a reader to look at it and be like, I know what genre this is in. I know what to expect. And you also want to communicate age, what age group you're trying to talk to. You also want to communicate the emotion that they should feel when they feel fear, happiness, sadness, mystery, and then a little bit of story. The elements of the story are far less important than getting the emotion, the genre, all that other stuff right.
Oh, yeah. Oh snap! Check it out. On someone already stole my idea on Kickstarter.
Share your screen, Jax. Yeah. There's the spaceship app. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, share your screen. What's being stolen here?
Okay.
You go to share screen and then.
Okay, share screen. Yeah. Okay.
And then John will click on it.
Yeah.
Share screen. I guess is that working?
I don't see it.
All right.
I don't know what to do with that one. This picture.
I'm sure it'll work for something.
So it used to be like if I wrote an article on like probiotics.
Now?
Oh my.
The Lily Demoness. Look at how much money that's making just from that.
And meanwhile, like this was on the Kickstarter homepage. So they don't always put just total social justice rags there. Sometimes it's
they think they're social justicing with this. They think it's a pro LGBT thing.
Okay.
Really, it's just thirsty dudes who are just like, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm striking a blow for social justice by backing Lily the Demoness.
I know they really do get through those. They go through those mental hoops that really do not make any sense.
Right.
But So there you go. Back Lily the Demoness today,
Yeah,
if you like this
exactly.
kind of
There
thing.
you go.
Yeah, there you go. Bar One Studios calls this.
Oh
fat-
wait,
fat trash.
and you see where this project's out of? College Station, Texas.
It's right there. Wow.
So that guy goes to A&M. There's no way this is a social justice project. No chance in hell.
Oh, so funny.
It's great.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, it may be that like women kissing and rubbing their boobs together is like the one thing that the left and the right can agree on these days. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Bar One also says the worst part of this is when a creator thinks they're being original with this. Yeah, you do see that, and people are like, "Oh, dude, I'm really pushing boundaries." It's like, no,
Right.
you're not.
Yeah.
Oh man, pushing boundaries is pushing chastity, bitches.
Yeah, no kidding.
I push chastity in my books. Oh man, I don't know. So I got nothing. I had like no plan for this. I just wanted to like do a telethon until I got 1,000 subscribers, and I've got 1,000 subscribers. So
There we go.
I don't know. We did it. So buy Preston's books, buy David's books. Would somebody?
Always happy.
Would somebody
White
in
Lily
the
launches tomorrow on Kickstarter.
the new one does?
Yeah, the new
Is
one.
number 4?
Yeah, issue 4.
Excellent. And where should they follow you guys? So obviously, David, I already put your link up earlier. I don't know where it went. Somebody put their links up in the chat, so I don't have to do it because I'm lazy.
Okay.
So thank you, people. Chat settings. Can I go and see? The thing is, I use this Restream thing, so it streams to Facebook Live and YouTube and this, and then I can't actually go into the individual chats. It looks like there is actually a problem with the way if I ran it only on YouTube, I would be able to comment on the YouTube chats in here. I think I have to actually open up a YouTube.
Yeah. So
chat.
I usually have the YouTube chat open up, and then that works.
I know it's a pain, and then I always forget to turn down the volume, and then it goes on me, right?
Yeah.
And I hate that. So let me try to do this. Why is Sergeant Bass not a moderator? Let's make him one. Why is Bar One not a moderator? What the heck? All right. Why is this? Yeah. All right. Too many non-moderators in here today. Sashi should be a moderator too. Is that everybody? I think that's everybody. All right. Let me find. Let's get your book. So, Preston, is your Indiegogo in-demand campaign still up for the last one?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, let me pull that up, and so people can check out these books. It's White Lily.
Yeah.
I put White Illy by mistake.
That's going to be the hip hop name.
That I like that. White Illy. You probably want to, yeah. I don't know. Okay, so here's this. Why is everybody getting wrenches? Is this trolling Tug? Yeah, that's actually how it started out. I was kind of making fun of the fact that everybody in Tug's chats has wrenches, and did that the other day. That is actually very true. And let's get up David Stewart's Amazon page. It's hard. The problem with you is there's like 50,000 David Stewarts out there in the world.
Yeah, that's why I do David V. Stewart.
You definitely have to David V. Stewart.
Yeah, David Stewart is like apparently it's the second most common first name, last name combination in the history of the United States.
Do you not have an Amazon author page?
Yeah, I have an Amazon author page.
How come it's not going to an Amazon author page? Check this out. I'm on your books. I'm going to show you right now. It's not going to an Amazon author page. So I go David Stewart, and I know this is your book, right? And I go boom. Doesn't go to an Amazon author page. It's going to his Kindle store.
That's weird. Actually, yeah, that's something with the Amazon page. It does that. It does that.
There you go. David Stewart's page. That's you've got so many books. There's like a lot for people to choose from. So I'll throw that.
Yeah. So there's some free ones too. Usually.
All right. Somebody says, "Do not give me a wrench," so I'm giving him a wrench. There we go.
So yeah, Prophet of the God Seed. Don't buy the $18 version of that. Why is there an
error?
$18
It's not letting me put up your Amazon page in there. It's saying error every time I try to put the link in.
I put it in chat.
You did?
Yeah.
Did it work?
I don't know. Hopefully.
I don't know.
Maybe there's something I got to figure out. It used to be like Amazon.com/David V. Stewart, but I think the link broke at some point in time.
It seems like it. So, oh well.
Customers
This is
also
a-
bought items by Shad Brooks, Chris Fox, Vox Day, John Della Rose.
Did you?
There you
That's
Really?
good. So
at
Shad, I
this.
like him. I like
Look
his.
at look at
I
your
like his
also,
YouTube.
look at your also bots. Okay, we can
Yeah,
get all the
let's
also
see.
bots. Let's judge you. Okay. So I don't know Shad. I know Chris Fox. Chris Fox is a great guy and a really solid science fiction writer.
Yeah.
John Della Rose is the leading Hispanic voice in science fiction, so I hear. And Vox Day is the greatest writer of all time. I hope you're all triggered and you leave the chat now. And I don't know who Bryce O'Connor is. Do you?
I don't.
I don't either.
Timothy Hickson? I don't know that name either. Nope. Vaughn W. Smith, don't know. Lindsay Broker is my favorite writer. So I wonder if because of proxy of buying me that like you got some weird like algorithm-y thing where Lindsay came into there. So that's pretty good. She's awesome. I can't wait to hang out with her next month. Bradford Walker is a really good friend of mine. So that makes sense. He's a Pulp Rev guy, solid. And then Michael Wallace, I'm not familiar with. Are you? JT Williams, I feel like I know the name. Well, those are nice covers. Look at these.
Yeah, those look great. I can here go back up to the top. So I'd like one of those covers. Can you?
Oh, back to the covers.
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh yeah. So this one that says The Dark Compass.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to go and
this
take
cover.
All right, brother.
So this is a great cover. So this is a guy. This is a stock photo cover, just so you know. So
definitely for sure.
The landscape is just a picture of a mountains that you've color graded. You have a stock photo dude that you've basically photoshopped a different sword in and added some fog and frosty effects. He looks like he has a frost sword. And then the font's doing all the work for you, you know. You have I could probably do that, but anyway, I like it. You know, it catches the eye, that dark gray with the bright lightning effects. Just this could be wizards and something in this one. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. So yeah, and it obviously is doing well for JT here. It looks like. Yeah, for sure. September 26th, he's doing okay on this. This is book 4 or 5 or something. 10-book series. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of books.
Look at this, but he's at 35,000 on all of them. I mean, that's selling, 3, 4, 5 copies a day of every single one of these books. So he's selling 50 books a day.
That's really good.
Crushing it.
You're making all kinds of money. But that's so anyone that's looking to get into this stuff, series are a really good idea.
Definitely.
Because if somebody really likes it, then they'll buy every book in the series. But I would say only write a series if you know that you can write the series. Like if there's a lot of stories to tell. If you don't have stories to tell and you're just trying to do it soap opera style, it's not going to work out for you. You got to think of something where you can really do a lot of stories.
John asks, are photos superior to painting for covers? I think it can go either way. Yeah, it depends on the genre, and it also depends on your artist. If you have like a really phenomenal painter like I've got for my Justified stuff, I mean, I'm glad that. I mean, if you look at this, I'm glad that I have a digital painting of this dude and not like some model guy that she kind of tried to tweak, because that's freaking awesome, right? Hey, Comic Book Hut, welcome the People's Champion himself. Hut, can you hop on the stream real quick? I've never actually talked to you, and I'd like to just say hi real quick.
So, I've used painted covers. I prefer them for fantasy. I think they're great for fantasy, and they could be great for sci-fi depending on how it's done. This is an extremely sharp digital painting by a guy named Karen Byatt. He also does Twilight Force's album covers. That's how I decided I wanted to at least use one of his images. Yeah. So I mean, it's a great painting. It's nice and sharp. It's bright. It's clear. A lot of times traditional paintings get washed out.
Oh, 3D render.
A lot of trad pub guys use very traditional painting approaches that just look kind of flat. And it's not that they look bad, but they don't pop compared to the digital paintings. Somebody works in the digital space.
It can look really cool. And I'm going to pull up Alexander Halene's book cover right now, which is one I've actually got the book right here. I could just
this is a good one.
But this is a great painting. This is a traditional painting, and this is brand new. I mean, it looks like a book out of like 1975.
Yeah, to me, it's got that retro vibe, which is fine.
So
There's nothing wrong with that. it's just going to signal different things. This signals to me like 70s or 60s pulp,
Yes.
not modern trad pub sci-fi.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's depends on what you want. If you're in if you're in a genre like, oh, I don't know, like romance or something, it's got to be photo cover, dude with abs, usually with the top part of his face cut off. Some hot.
I want to transition into romance because there's so much more money in romance.
Like, I know. I'm just so tempted. And the thing is, I think you could be really bad and still make a lot of money. So it's something that I hate saying this, but it's like I could take a weekend, bang out like some fantasy romance, make a quick cover of it, for $10, throw it up, and it'll probably make me all kinds of money.
Taken by the Orc King.
Yeah. So taken by the Orc King. Okay. So you just come up with a bunch of keywords. Just get on Publisher Rocket and like check out all the keywords. Okay. Taken by the Orc King, taken by the Fey King. Boom. We're going to do that. Okay. Now we'll just put some hot abs. We'll put a girl slightly turned away. We'll put some red in the background. And then we'll write about how the Fey King took her and impregnated her. We'll make it a pregnancy fantasy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, there's a whole genre. There's a subgenre that I don't know if it's a real category, but you can look it up on Amazon, which is like pregnancy fantasy. It's like being impregnated by the alpha male is like the main theme of the romance. But so you just go that direction.
And you have to take a female pen name for that though. You have to be like,
oh, for sure, Sandra Stone or something.
Yeah.
I'd probably do something like that. I actually have I'm not going to reveal that.
How can there still be
a secret comedy book that I'm going to come out with at some point?
Genre, so there can still be so much money in romance, even though it's saturated. There's so many freaking women out there who just go through and plow through these books all day. And that's
and you can sell them at an inflated. So a 99-cent short read for me, like Chronocyte, is, it needs to be 99 cents because it's only about 22,000 words. It's a short book, and I really designed it that way, and I really love what I did with it. But if I did that with romance, I could sell for $2.99.
Yeah. And
they'll sell all day long at $2.99. They're like, I get 2 hours of masturbatory material for $2.99.
Bar One says, don't forget your comfy Christian romances so you can combine them for a new genre. Taken by the Amish Orcs shoe fly
pie recipe. So Mennonite and Amish fiction is a category on Amazon. Now, if you're wondering why do Amish people buy ebooks, your guess is as good as mine, but they do. They buy them.
Or is it Amish people buy it or people who have Amish fantasies? So
it might be Amish fantasies. I don't know. Mennonites.
My cover.
Because I'm a Mennonite. We never had. You could buy ebooks or whatever. And Amish people actually, you could like use electricity in the barn. They decided at some point, so you can run your fridge in the barn, but you can't really keep it in the house because then the technology is too close. I think there's totally pictures of Amish people with iPhones and stuff too, though.
All right. So my cover designer for the Stars Entwined actually does a bunch of romance covers, and I'm going to make fun of him right here. And he does Amish Christian romance. So this is going to be great for you guys. You're going to love it. Here's the Promise Box, and.
Oh, this is great.
Isn't it?
Oh my, 7 brides for 7 bachelors.
Oh yes. It's so good.
That's great.
You got to have the bonnet on there, and having like that flat brimmed male hat is actually great. And the suspenders, I mean, just beautiful.
Yeah. And this is a photo composite that you could totally do. Because it's 2 stock photos, 3 different ones. You can kind of blend the grass. Yeah, you could totally do that.
Yeah. Did great color effects there too. So it's very bright and beautiful. In the Field of Grace. Oh yeah.
This looks like a Muslim romance or something.
It did,
which is the thing.
Little hijab thing.
There's Muslim dating services too. It's like Muslim date to help you date other Muslims.
Interesting.
Because of course Muslims are not going to like the super degenerate Tinder or something like that.
Of course not. No. Lovelier Than Daylight. This one's got to be very comfy. Very comfy. So
because what you got to do if you really want those 1-star reviews is you have this cover, you have this title, and then like it very quickly degenerates into like torture porn or something.
I like that this one has a bunny. So we're into the bunnies here with the bonnet. Yeah.
Covered bridge charm.
Yeah. It is. I don't know. I'm a little ashamed of his cover here. This is pretty poor Photoshop job. Kirk, if you're watching this. 4 Weddings and a Kiss. Oh yeah, it's a good one. Oh, a Confederate flag. That's risky. I should get that off the screen so I don't get demonetized. Oh no, another one. Ah.
Oh, there's a whole series. This is going to be a great one.
Yeah, this is a great one for
Wheeler
sure.
of Carthage. Now this is interesting. Notice how small the title is, and like how big the author name is.
I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have done it the opposite way.
It might be a big author though because I don't know anything about these young. I don't know anything about romance.
We can. I don't either.
Other than I would probably read like 2 romance novels, and be like, I got the gist of how to do this.
Right. I read one earlier last year to do that. It was about a maid. It was called like I forget the name of it, but it was about a maid who like was working for a billionaire actor or something like that. So it was like clearly like Robert Downey Jr. self-insert fantasy.
Yeah.
And it was pretty entertaining. But yeah, look at these romance covers. Blowing on Dandelions. That's pretty risque. All right.
Oh, kissing. Love Finds You.
Yeah, I like that.
Look at the little the knitting dolls and stuff too. Gunpowder tea. I don't know what to do with this cover.
Look at the gun in her hand. Like she's got the little hold-up pistol. She's got the tea, and he's
got the little.
He's like
Derringer or whatever.
That's pretty great.
I think that's a tiny revolver.
That's really funny.
But this is that one looks like fantasy.
More bonnets. Lily's wedding quilt. Oh yeah, that's Amish. This is the Amish porn right here. So, yeah,
a Patch of Heaven novel. This is our field. It's a patch of heaven.
This is it. We can transition into bonnet fiction and make way more money. Is the deal here? I don't know. I can scroll through this for hours and just do this, but I hate it instead of you. So. Looks like Katharine Hepburn right there, almost.
Yeah. Finding Mercy.
Samily says that was hilarious. I'm out of topic ideas. I don't know. I'm done.
Lit RPG dating sim book. I think there's a new genre that Brad Walker.
This is a great idea, Brad Walker. Dude, I triple dare you.
So it's like I gotta level up my relationship with, whoever the character is, the version of Edelgard. And I gotta.
There's probably real money here, like for real. Like I cannot do this because I hate lit RPGs and I don't want to do this.
I still don't even really know what they are. People that feel like this, I'm like, isn't that just a fantasy book?
It's a fantasy book, but they like level up in the book, I guess, and like get experience points and shit. So I don't know. Yeah,
that doesn't make sense to me. Like, why are we bringing something that's non-story elements into the story?
Because of that whole like anime manga or genre of like is it wrong to pick up girls in dungeons or whatever, like that genre in Japan for anime where all these dudes like fall into video games and stuff is really what translated over here. Yeah. All right, on that I think I will go and hang out with my kids because it's Sunday and I just want we should probably do that too.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming by, David. I wish I would have hung out on Friday. I'll do it one of these times.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It was a cool experience, but there'll be more. Maybe next time a cool band that's like maybe if Twilight Force will ever come to the US, we'll go see them.
Baby Metal. Baby Metal's coming in a couple weeks.
Baby Metal. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, we'll go to Baby Metal.
I'd go to Baby Metal for sure. So
that's gonna be a kicking show, man.
I think the Who
are bring some books to sell because those weebs love
it. All right, ending broadcast. See you guys.
All right, later.
Oh.